So this is everything I use. You got it? Just kidding. I honestly do not use measurements. I'll try to give you like a guess or a ballpark. I'm looking for the words, all the words. I start with salt. That's what I start with. And then just go from there. Like honestly, I would save these for last because these do contain salts. But I really do not use measurements. I'm just gonna like show you as I go. Yeah, this is a pretty big one, and it does have the skin on. The ones that I cooked did not have the skin on, so this could be a little different, but I don't think it should be that different. So I'm gonna put that in there, and now I'm gonna rinse my hands because they're really slimy. And I'm actually gonna rinse this too, yeah, because I should. So the salmon has been rinsed. First and foremost, I just put salt, and then I put white pepper. Girl, if you don't focus, white pepper. Yes, black pepper is really spicy, but white pepper, I feel like, is a different type of spice. It's very like not too spicy, and I like to be considerate. Because my partner doesn't like too much heat. So I've used white pepper and I've used salt so far. I have not used onion powder. So next I'm going to add some onion powder because onion and garlic is a staple to me, like in terms of flavor and, you know, bases for food. My family is Liberian. Like vegetables, especially onion and garlic, are usually like the flavors that I really resonate with and I find that are really easy to find. So we did onion powder, white pepper, and salt. Now we're gonna add some garlic powder. And I'm not really using measurements. I wrote down measurements, but I'm not gonna like sit here and act like I actually use them. Just let your spirit, your ancestors, as they say, guide you. So this is Worcestershire sauce. Right now I'm just making like a nice paste over it, and then I'm just gonna rub the paste with a spatula. It's pretty rudimentary. So I'm just gonna put all the things that I've added over here. So we've done all these. And these are the more salty things that add a little bit more depth, I guess, yeah. And then this is lemon. I'm gonna add the lemon now, just to get some acid. But yeah, as I was saying, my family is Liberian. My mother never really asked me to help her cook unless it was like an absolute necessity and I wasn't really doing anything that was like super like recipe driven. It was usually just like peeling stuff or something. So I've never been like too involved in the kitchen, but I just have had like access to like different food that was usually not accessible for like my socio-economic status, because my mom worked at Whole Foods for a pretty long time while we were like living in the projects. So like she would always try her best to get us like interesting, good food. And I really like that because so many people are just used to like food being boring or something that's just not exciting. And it can be. So this is what we have right now. We have a lot of seasonings. This is everything I've put on it. I'm gonna put a little bit of adobo. I put the adobo mainly on the edges. I don't know why that is. I'm about to sneeze because all this seasoning just be having me ready to blow. All right, I'm gonna try to drop knowledge. There was like one very important thing I wanted to say. Nobody likes cooking if you're forced to, or if you have to clean up to cook. Like cleaning or cooking in a dirty kitchen is not something anybody really wants to do. So like to set yourself up for success, clean as you go when you're cooking. And that can be, you know, sometimes difficult if you don't live alone or whatever, but like you can always try to at least like make the kitchen more inviting, because nobody wants to be in the kitchen if you're not trying to be in the kitchen. Like you want to cook and be like cooking with love. I feel like that's a good thing, because when you have patience and you know you're just trying to make the best of your time in the kitchen, that's when the best things happen. And really slow and steady is what matters when I find for me, because I oftentimes will burn stuff when I'm trying to rush and do too many things at once. So yeah, the salmon, it doesn't look like too much right now, but it definitely has a good smell. And you see me, I'm all sniffling and stuff. I don't know why that is. It's probably because some stuff got in my nose and allergies and whatnot, but it's alright. What I did to get this crust was just added some flour. I'm just gonna do like a little sprinkle this time. And some oil. Some olive oil. And salmon is naturally a pretty oily fish, so you don't have to add too much oil. I just added probably like 2 or 3 tablespoons. That's a lot of oil. I know I just contradicted myself. This is the salmon, this is what we get. There is some oil you can see along with the seasonings just dripping all down and stuff. I'm gonna put it in the freezer because I don't know why I like to put stuff in the freezer so that I feel like it like sticks better when I put it in the freezer. I'm showing y'all all the weird tips. Like I'm sure people are gonna be like, ew, I hate that. That's not normal, but whatever. This is how I do it, and I like the way I do it. So yeah, we'll probably put it in the freezer for like 10 minutes and then move it to the fridge. Cause I feel like the freezer just lets it like set on more. Yeah, my camera stopped recording, so I don't know how much of that I got. But the thing I probably use the most of is Old Bay. And then just a mixture of everything else. Old Bay and oil, and then flour to get everything binded together. And I'm just gonna cover this with the top. Cover this. And then this is going to go in the freezer. Alright, and this is the stuff, the vegetables that are going into the rice. Right now, it's pretty simple. It's olives stuffed with prosciutto, and then onions, and red bell pepper, as well as orange bell pepper, and then the oil that the olives were sitting in, as well as, let me just show you, as well as this complete seasoning, just a little bit of the complete seasoning, and then I'll probably add butter and salt to the rice to taste, but this is just to give it some more flavor. But right now we're just sitting with this, letting it slowly do its thing. I'm gonna add some butter because Brussels sprouts do take a long time to cook, and slow and low is the name of the game right now. Slowly cook it so that I can get really soft and crispy. So everything is looking decent. Thank you. One thing I want to tip y'all is Tupperware containers. Like in regards to food waste, trying to limit food waste. I think that even when you're ordering food out, like if you get these containers or the little clear plastic ones that have these lids, they're really good to reuse for like seasoning food or food prep, meal containers, whatever. Like I just put the salmon in here to, marinate and take up that flavor. But when ordering food, you get these things, and I'm pretty sure it's factored into the price of the food that you order. So reuse them. Don't throw them out. Don't put it in a landfill, especially if you have them. I think they're a really important thing to reuse, especially nowadays. I just realized how many of these are thrown out, how many plastic utensils, single-use utensils that are thrown out. So pro tip, keep your freaking Tupperware for leftovers when you're giving them out to people or whatever. They're very useful. That's my 2 cents though. This smells like popcorn. You can already see the edges are starting to brown. It smells really good. I have it right now on like the lowest heat pretty much. And this is what I like to see when stuff is getting browned, like on the lowest heat, because I know it's good. And then this guy over here, let me open it and stir it around. Let me hand it off to my camera person. Now we're adding the vegetables, olives, peppers, minced garlic, all of that into the rice. There's also a whole clove of garlic just for the rice to, have a friend. Yeah, I'm trying to keep this video short and sweet for y'all. That's why I'm just gonna summarize the sides. And the salmon most of the prep work was all the work, so now it just has to slowly cook. So this is the rice. So it's nice. Now the Brussels sprouts, you see those are getting brown. So now it's time to start flipping. And it's looking pretty good. Like presentation wise, that's why I say cook slower. Because if I put the heat all the way up, the heat is not even on the stove, so
you gotta rotate
it's tilted. But it's fine. They're gonna be cooked. Like, I have faith. So yeah, these are looking decent. I'm gonna let this oil heat up, but I'll show you the Brussels sprouts. Give you a little sneak peek. And those are them. I like how they look. Give them restaurant vibes. So for the salmon, I need to make sure this water is hot, or this oil is hot enough, excuse me. So, it's hot enough, surprise. So this is the salmon that we marinated like 3 hours ago now. And thanks to meal prepping, it'll be an easy little quick cook. I'm gonna put the skin side down. And today I used less oil because yesterday I was told it was a bit buttery, which isn't a bad thing, but as I said earlier, salmon is like naturally oily, so you don't need to add too much oil. It's a naturally fat fish. I'm not gonna move it too much. I'm gonna lower the heat to medium. This pan was the wrong pan to use. It's okay though. The skin came off because this is a cast iron. The actual skin of the fish came off. And then the breading kind of came off as well when I put it face down. But I know it's because I didn't use a non-stick pan. So don't use a cast iron pan, use a non-stick pan. It'll be easier for you all around. I'm just gonna cut this in half because 2 people are eating it, and to see if it's done, I like to like make sure that shit's done because I'm not a pro. This, I hope it's not overdone. This actually looks a little bit not done in the middle. See? And I would have taken that out thinking, oh, maybe it's done. So this is clearly not done. And we need to raise the heat. What I did yesterday is I finished it in the air fryer. And honestly, I might do that again so it doesn't get too oily. I'm gonna finish it in the air fryer. So it's a learning journey with cooking. Like right here, you see this is a bit underdone. Like the breading isn't crisping there. So I think it's just a heat distribution thing. And this wasn't the right pan, so I definitely should have used a non-stick pan like yesterday. I should not have tried to mix it up. Because cast irons are good for certain things, but this wasn't it. And you see, yeah, that pinkness, we're gonna try to get it to be a cooked color. So it's not safe. Put it in there. We're gonna do 350 for 10 minutes. Like a little bit after 350. This rice is just letting this water evaporate. You can see in the bottom right, there's still some water there. The Brussels sprouts are chilling on top of the burner that was just hot so that they can stay hot. And the salmon was cooked so slowly that it has to finish up in the air fryer. And right now it's getting really nice and brown, blackened salmon vibes. So all in all, I started cooking at 5. Right now it's 9:16, and I think everything was cooked rather slowly, definitely. But the fact that I took this much time also made me less likely to burn anything, so I don't think anything has gotten burned so far. And my one main critique is that I did not cook the salmon exactly the same way I cooked it yesterday, and it came out bomb. I'm gonna include pictures along the way so y'all can see how it came out yesterday versus today. But today I put a lot of effort into my sides. The dog clearly wants some. It's busting. Got Brussels sprouts. Got some rice with vegetables and the salmon. The piece de resistance. The piece de resistance. I'm gonna plate it up and then show you the plate. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed learning how I do things to make this salmon, Brussels sprouts, and rice. All right. I just went to the grocery store and I haven't posted YouTube content in forever, but I'm about to start again, I think.